Hi everyone. Today I'm going to present to you our recent works about formalizing the three-player card game using the language MA Star. So the talk will contain 5 parts. First is the introduction about our work. Then I will present to you the three-player card game, how it can be represented in dynamic epistemic logic and MA Star. Next, I will propose some extension for MA Star to deal with each domain and use that to reason in this game in MA Star. The final is the conclusion and future work. So as we know, our reasoning about action in dynamic multi-agent system is an important part for AI. There are some frameworks such as epistemic logic or dynamic epistemic logic that is the handle this kind of problem very well. But there are also some high actions language as MI or MA Star can do the planning or reasoning in multi-agent domain also. So our long-term project is one to build a planning system using MA Star. So in this work, I would like to illustrate for you that using MA Star, we can derive same conclusion as using dynamic epistemic logic in some domain. So what is the three-player card game? We're using the three-player card game as a running example for this paper. And the description for the three-player card game is following. There are 3 agents in the room, Anne, Bill, and Kat. And there are 3 cards on the table with the value 0, 1, and 2. On card fade out, so nobody know which card is which. Then Anne pick the first card and turn out her card is 0. Then Bill pick up the second card and his card is 1. And Kat draw the last card and her card is 2. At this point, each agent know only their own card but not the other. Then Anne have 2 choices now. Either she can put her card fade up on the table for everyone to see it, or she show her card to Bill only. So let's see how dynamic epistemic logic can deal with this domain. First, the action Anna pick up the first card can be encoded in the formula as well. And this formula can understand that after Anna pick up her card, then on the agent in the room, Anna, Bill, and Kat know that Anna must learn the value of Anna card and turn out the value of Anna card is 0. Similarly, for the action when Bill pick up the second card or Kat pick up the last card. So initially, nobody know anything. So on the agent, we'll consider 6 work possible now because they know that they only can have 1 card and each card much different from each other. Then when Anna pick up the first card and she know that this is 0, so Anna know that there are only 2 work possible for her. When the card in Anna's hand is 0, it's true. And I would like to note that the work with the double circle here indicate that the two work in the real world. Then when Bill pick up his card, then Bill know that his card is 1. So he know that there are only 2 work possible for him. But for Kat, because she hasn't picked the card yet, so for Kat, there are 6 work possible for her. Then after Kat pick up the last card, we can see right now everyone only know their own card, but they still don't know the whole deal of the world. So each one of them still consider 2 work possible. So if Anna choose to put down her card on the table, then the formula can be encoded. When Anna put down her card on the table for everyone to see it, then every agent in the room know that Anna card is 0. And with this information, both Bill and Kat can know the 2 deal. Leaving Anna is the only person in the room don't know the 2 value of the world right now. But if Anna chose to show her card for Bill only, then Bill will be the only person in the room know the 2 deal. But for Anna and Kat, they still consider 2 work possible right now. And we can see that even Dell can handle this problem very well, but it seems unclear for us that how can they compute the result automatically. And another question is like, can higher order action language such as MA star deal with this domain? So I would like to point out some advantages of MA star. In MA star, we characterize the action into 3 different classes. First is the on-tick action that can change the property of the word. Second is the sensing action will have the agent revise their knowledge about the word. And the last one is the acknowledgement action, is a tool for each agent to communicate with each other to exchange information. And in MA star, we have a general update model for each class of action that can have the computation done automatically. So let's see how MA star can like encode this problem. With this domain, MA star encode is using a 3 set. The first set is the set of agent AG will contain A, B, and C represent the agent Anna, Bill, and Kat. The second set is the set of fluent with the X0, X0 is mean that the agent is whole K0, or 1 is mean that the agent is whole K1. So they total 9 fluent in this domain. And then the last set is a set of rule. Let's see how each rule can be encoded in MA star. The first rule that someone draw a card from the table, and the result is when someone draw a card from the table, that card must be 0, 1, or 2, because we know that there are only 2 cards on the table. And everyone in the room can observe that action. So the second action is the action when someone checks their card. So when someone checks their card, they will know that what is the value of that card. But the other person does not know the value of this card. They just aware that that action already checked that card. The last 2 action is the action someone put down their card on the table, or someone saw another one their card, and these 2 cards can be understand acknowledgement action with the effect that they acknowledge their value for everybody or for someone. The only difference is for the action that someone put down their card on the table, then everyone in the room can be fully observe this action. But for the action that someone saw another one their card, then just the one who been sold will know the value of this card. The other just know that that action happened, but don't know which value of that card is. And another thing is that with MA star, we can encode the constraints such one agent can only have like 1 card in their hand, and then each card must be different. It's order using two statistical law here. And initially, we can encode the fact that initially nobody hold anything in their hand, so all 9 fluent must be found. And we can observe that the action pick up A in their representation can be understand or can be considered the sequence A draw a card and then A check her card. Then the sequence like A pick up a card, B pick up a card, and C pick up a card can be summarized as the sequence existing. So before continue using MA star to reasoning about this domain, I would like to propose some extension for MA star to deal with this domain. The current version of MA star only consider deterministic action, which means that when you execute one action in a word, then only one word to at the end. But it's not. But we can see that in this domain, when we consider the action draw a card, then this action can be understand a non-deterministic action, because the result could be 3 possible cases. So instead of mapping only one interpretation F from another one interpretation F, we propose that a new update model can be mapped an interpretation into a set of interpretation to encounter the non-deterministic action in this case. So with this extension, now we can continue to reason the game using MA star. First, because no one have anything in their hand yet, so everybody must have the empty hand, and the true word must be like every fluent is found, and the initial state M0 S0 here. Then the update model for Anna draw the first card is only have one event because everybody fully observer of that action. And apply the cross product from this state to this update model, we can have the next result as the three possible, because as I say before, right now an update model can map a set an interpretation into a set of interpretation. So there are three possible state right now. When each state encode that Anna have K0 or K1 or K2. So after Anna check her car, then the update model only allow Anna know the value of her car, but Bill and Cass do not know that value. So, and because from the description, we already assume that the car of Anna is 0. So we only take the work when Anna car is 0 to cross product with this update model. And the result is turn out that Anna have car 0 in her hand. And for Bill and Cass, they still don't know Anna car. And in their hand, they have nothing in their hand. Their hand still empty. So similarly, for the action that Anna, for the action that Bill draw the next car, then the update model is still the same with one event because everyone is fully observer of this. And apply the cross product, we have two possible world right now. First, the first indicate that the car in Bill hand could be 1, and the second indicate that the car in Bill hand it could be 2. And for Bill, because he hasn't checked his car, so he still consider like both two were possible. Then after Bill check her car, the update model here is allowed that only Bill know about his car, but Anna and Kat do not know that value. So the result, because we assume that Anna car, Bill car is 1, so the result is we obtain is just only 1 to stay here, and which Anna have K0 in her hand and Bill have K1 in his hand, and for Kat she have nothing in her hand at this point. And similarly for the action, like when Kat draw the last car, then the update model is kind of the same as the two viewer draw action, and the result is it turn out like Bill have Kat have a car in her hand, but she has not checked that, so she still does not know the value of that car. And after Anna check, after Kat check her car, then the final result here is indicate that each agent have a car in their hand, and they know the value of their car, but not other. We noted that using MI star, we have the same result as they already present for you before. So how about the two action? First, if Anna choose to put down her car on the table, then because everyone in the room can fully observe of this action, so this abnormal action only have like one this abnormal action, the update model for abnormal action only have one event, which the precondition the Anna must hold the car 0 in her hand. And apply the cross product, we obtain the result that not only Bill and Kat know the value of Anna car, but using this result, they can and the information the car in their hand, they can like conclude that the two words right now is Anna have car 0, Bill have car 1, and Kat have car 2. Leaving Anna is the only person in the room still does not know what is the true deal for the true deal. But if Anna chose to show her car for Bill only, then the update model for the abnormal action allow both Anna and Bill know the value of Anna car, but Kat still does not know the value of that car. And apply the cross product again, we still obtain the same result as their representation as before, that Bill is the only person in the room know the true deal of the world. We saw that using MI star in this domain, we not only can derive the same conclusion with dynamic epistemic logic approach, but we also can do it like automatically, which can help a lot of us a lot for the planning phase. We also discuss an extension for the current definition in MI star that can like handle the statistical law, a non-deterministic action, or the sensing action with multiple choice. There are some features that we have not discussed but already appear in the literature, such as non-deterministic observation, or someone try to lie by acknowledging something false, such as lying acknowledgement, and we would like to leave for the future world. So that's all for my talk, and thanks for your listening.